Hi everybody, I'm Kim. Welcome to the Regretful Yarn Addict. Today, let's learn how to make this towel ring. It's very simple and very, I won't say convenient. It's something any household might want. Then you just hang your towel through the loop. So, for this tutorial, I will be using a 3-inch ring, some white cotton. I'm going to use a toggle button, a pair of scissors, and a needle, a darning needle. Had to search through my little needle holder because I was not prepared. Also, the second most important thing is I'll be using a 5.0 millimeter, also known as an H or an 8. All right, so to get started, let's go ahead, put a slip knot on our hook. You can do that any way you're comfortable doing. And then just grab your ring, go under it, grab your yarn, and make a single crochet. We're going to take this yarn and kind of hold it around the loop so we can crochet over it. And we're just going to go ahead and make a single crochet all the way around our loop, just like this. So just keep doing that. There's no specified amount of stitches, just as long as the entire hoop is covered. And I'll meet you when I get to the end. Okay, I'm almost completely around, and I want to make sure that I've got coverage on my ring. So I'm going to put in a couple extras. Make sure your single crochets all stay not crooked. Okay, and now I'm just going to go ahead and I am going to slip stitch into that very first single crochet. Now what we're going to do is, I don't know about you, but I got to get my yarn all unraveled. Crafty little yarn. Okay, so it's chain 1, and now let's do 14 single crochets, starting with putting one into that very same stitch we just slip stitched in. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14. So you've got something that looks like that. Now we're going to go ahead and do 14 more rows of this 14 stitches. Now you can chain one if you want, or you can just turn and go right back into that same stitch. Whichever you're more comfortable with, just remember to be consistent. If you chain one for this turn, make sure you chain one at every turn. If you decide not to chain one, then don't chain one at any of them. And I am not going to chain one. I'm just going to go ahead and start my first row of 14. So when we're done with this section, we should have 15 rows of 14 stitches. Go ahead and do that. I'll catch up to you when I'm done with that last row, which will be a total of 15 rows. Okay, I've got my 14 rows done for a total of 15. And if you're off by a row or two, it's not going to make a huge difference. It definitely is not the end of the world. So let's go ahead and flip this over, and we're going to make a decrease, and we're just going to go into next 2 stitches and pull up a loop. So we have 3 loops on our hook. Pull over and go through all of them, and that's a decrease. Now we're going to do 10 single crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Nine and 10, which leaves us 2 single crochets. We'll go into that one, pull up a loop, go into that last stitch, pull up a loop, 3, pull through all 3. That just put us down to 12 single crochets. We're going to turn our work again, and we're going to do 12 single crochets. Okay, and now we're going to turn our work again, and we're going to do another decrease row. We're going to do a decrease. Then we're going to do 8 single crochets. That leaves us 2, and we're going to go ahead and do a decrease, which brings us down to 10 single crochets. Now we're going to do 12 rows of 10 single crochets, including, well, let's not include that. Let's just do 12 more rows, 10 single crochets, and I will meet you back when we get to the last row. Okay, you guys, I just finished my 12 rows of 10 single crochets. And this is what it's looking like. So we're going to turn. We're going to do 3 single crochets. Then we're going to chain 4. Skip 4 and do 3 single crochets. And we've just made our buttonhole. Okay, we're going to turn that, and we're going to do 10 single crochets for a total of 3 rows. 2, 3. Now when you get to this chain 4, you can, if you want, put a single crochet into each chain, or you can do the cheater's way like I do and just put 4 single crochets around that chain, and then you just do 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do 2 more rows of those 10. And 1 more row. Okay, now here you have a decision to make. You can leave it like this, sew your button on, bring it down like so, and be done. Or I am going to add a ruffle onto the bottom of mine. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and then I'm going to put 2 double crochets into that first, and I'm going to put 3 double crochets into every stitch. My yarn fell to the floor. Sorry for that. Let me go ahead and yank some out. So 3 into every stitch for a total of 30 double crochets. Now we'll get that little lost one on the edge. Okay, so now we have a little ruffle. I think I want to give mine just a little bit more of a ruffle. So I'm going to go ahead, chain up 2, and I'm going to put 1, 2, 3 half doubles into every stitch. All the way across. This is going to take a second, so I'll meet you when I get that done. Okay, so I just went ahead and added that extra row of half double crochets, and I've got a really roughly top here. So I'm going to go ahead, cut off a length, probably about 3 inches. I'm going to pull that up, grab my needle, thread it, and then I'm going to go down the side there. And then I'm going to just go in underneath some stitches. And then I'm going to go back. And then I'm going to go back again. And I'm going to try to go through some fibers, but if not, it's cool. And then I'm going to chop off my end. Okay, so now we've got this. And I'm going to fold this over. There's my buttonhole. I think I want to put my ruffle down. So I'm going to take my button, and I'm using a black button. And I'm going to put it right there in the middle. So I am going to go ahead, put a piece of, well, a length of black cotton yarn. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through that like so. Leave myself a little length. Then I'm going to go up through my toggle. You don't have to use a toggle button. You can use any button. You just really want to make sure that it's not too big or too small for your buttonhole. Or you could make your buttonhole smaller. There's no law that says it has to be that size. I'm certainly not going to come to your house and arrest you, because let's be honest, patterns are just guidelines. Okay, see, I don't care that it's showing in the back because that's the back. Okay, and now where I put that through, I'm going to come up beside it. I'm gonna, oh, I need better scissors. Cut that, and now I'm going to just tie this in a tight little knot. Then I'm going to wrap it around my button. Tie it again. Tight, tight. And then I'm just going to go down there and cut off my ends. Then you take your top and you do like this, and you've got your little ruffle. And there is your towel ring. And then you just take your little towel. And you put it through. And then you've got your ruffly right there. And there you go. And I love the way that comes up and just okay. There's always time for friends, wine, and coffee. All right. So there we have it. Our towel ring ready to be put over a handle. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and have yourselves a great day. Bye-bye.